Hello Silver friends, this is Joli from 𝐋𝐚𝐢𝐿, and today I'm doing an honest review and comparison between the Laifen Swift hairdryer and the Laifen SE hairdryer. I've had several of you reach out to me over the last few months and ask me what the difference was between these two dryers. And as it so happens, Laifen reached out to me and asked me if I would like to try the Laifen SE. So I said yes, absolutely, because I have customers and followers who are wanting to know what the differences are between these dryers and which one's right for them. While I love the Swift hairdryer and I became an affiliate with Laifen and they gifted this to me, I need to state here this is not a sponsored post and this is my honest opinion and my full and complete review between the two products so you can compare and see which one is right for you. With all that said, let's get started. The main differences in the specs. Current retail price on the SE is $129.99 and the Laifen Swift is $159.99. Motor revolutions are 105,000 RPMs on the SE and 110,000 RPMs on the Laifen Swift. Wind speed is 21 meters per second on Laifen SE and 22 meters per second on Laifen Swift. This is a key thing. The Laifen SE is polycarbonate, so it is something you would notice if you had both of them in your hands because the fiber on the outside of the Laifen Swift is nylon and glass, so it has a slightly different feel. This one does feel a little smoother and a little bit more solid, if you will. Like you can kind of tell this is a plasticky type feel. The max power on both is 1400 watts. Thermostat algorithm, this one regulates the temperature 50 times per second, and this one regulates it 100 times per second. The cord length on the SE, get ready y'all, it's 8 feet long compared to the Swift at 5'9", which many of us, including myself, complained about the length of the cord on the Swift being so short, under 6 feet long. The weight of the SE is a solid 1 pound, while the Swift comes in at 15 ounces or so, so it's slightly under a pound. The functions between the two dryers are relatively similar. They both still have the heat settings high, medium, low, and oscillating. The high setting on the SE, I measured it at 275 degrees Fahrenheit, and on the Swift, I measured it at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and that was the max point. That's what I hit the max temperature at. Medium, I measured at around 175 with the SE, and at around 168 with the Swift. Low is room temperature on both devices, and then of course, oscillating goes between high, medium, low, and it is one of my favorite features of both devices. The speeds are also the same at low and high. One key difference between the button settings for the speed and heat are the nature of the material. They are plastic on the SE and they are metal on the Swift. Personally, that does not make much difference to me and I really don't care whether the button is plastic or metal. The key differences between the cords, aside from the length, is that on the SE, they have removed the surge protector brick, so that's kind of nice. And the plug is relatively smaller. You can see this one's a little bit chunkier. Pretty much it with the cords. I really do appreciate the length. I found that very helpful, especially when I tried the dryer out drying our dogs. I use our hair dryers to dry our long-haired dogs and I found it a lot easier to have a little bit more cord to take care of that task. Other than these few little differences, I really didn't notice much difference in the function. The dryer does get a little bit hotter, so that kind of bothers me. If you have really delicate hair, you're not going to want to use it on high heat at all. You'll need to use it on medium, and that might get frustrating if you need to dry your hair a little faster. I did notice some major differences between the diffusers. So I have both of them here. They are the same size and they are made of different plastics. I could tell the difference in the plastic. The SE diffuser gets way hotter. It actually gets so hot to the touch that I had a difficult time taking it off of the dryer while it was hot so that I could switch between tools. That's not a big deal if you don't need to take it off between, tools. If you don't ever take it off and you only use the diffuser, then you're probably not going to notice how hot it is. I did notice that it retained the heat for a while. But there are some key differences between these two besides their material. There is a screen inside the Swift diffuser or their original diffuser, and you can kind of see it on film there. It is a foil-like screen with holes punched into it. This allows the heat to be evenly distributed through the diffuser rather than just blowing air through the cup of the diffuser without it actually having something to keep the temperature regulated. This one also has a screen in it, but it is a solid foil with no holes in it. So what I found is that it was shooting the air around that foil and kind of concentrating the force of the air around the outer rings. So this may be why there's a difference in these teeth. These are wider spaced apart. These are closer spaced together into the center. The openings in the base of the diffuser there are more of them in this one, and they go all the way to the center. In this one, they close off in the center and are only open on the outer rings. You can see this is solid here. And I think that is because that screen behind there is solid. So there's another difference in the teeth. If you look here, you can see there is an opening in the teeth on both sides. And with this one, the opening in the teeth is to the inner part of the diffuser. So there were some pretty significant differences between these diffusers, and I was able to tell in function those differences, and I far prefer this diffuser over the SE diffuser. Now, the good thing is you do not have to use that diffuser with the SE. You can swap it out and use the other diffuser. So if you can get the SE without the diffuser and buy the original diffuser, that's a really good way to go if possible. The primary function of this dryer and difference according to Laifen is that it is designed to travel with, which was a very timely gift for me because I am about to travel and I will have a house sitter here who will need a hairdryer. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to take my hairdryer but leave her something that she could use while she was house sitting for us. So I am going to test this out on the trip and see how well it goes as far as being a travel dryer for me. I assume that it will be really nice because it is a longer cord and I can use it anywhere. That was something that was a struggle for me with the Swift, is I traveled with it, and the place that we were staying, I couldn't find a plug plus a mirror where I could actually use the dryer and finish drying my hair. So I dried my hair the entire time I was on vacation without a mirror, which isn't too big a deal, but it is kind of nice to see what's going on while you're drying your hair. So I look forward to having the longer cord for travel. So overall, this dryer is very compatible with the Swift, so it kind of comes down to what price you want to pay for your dryer and that heat technology and the blower setting technology. If you want this one, the Swift, that regulates the temperature 100 times per second, and that you get that extra guarantee that you won't burn your silver hair, I suggest you stick with this one, because this dryer, I could tell the difference with that 50 times per second regulation. I could tell that the dryer was getting a little bit hotter because it wasn't being regulated as often. It wasn't that big a deal, so if it's not a big concern to you or you have thicker, coarser hair, you're probably not going to care or notice. I would say if you do get this one and you do have delicate hair, stick to medium. If you still have pigmented hair, probably none of that is going to matter to you. And if you travel a lot, the SE is definitely a great option with that longer cord. That is it for this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you have been able to decide which dryer is right for you. As always, I have linked everything in the description box below, including a coupon code that Laifen has offered up to my followers. While you're in the description box, please join my email newsletter so you can get all of my new content delivered to your inbox on Saturday mornings. If you have any questions or comments about the Laifen Swift or the Laifen SE, please leave those in the comments section below. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so now because I would love to see you next time. Shine on.